now that we're actually recording. What up, hatchlings? This is Kara the Crow. As stated previously, we're going unscripted. That means that I've got a bit more freedom to say what I want to say what I think, voice my opinions, voice my stances. Our story, and of course, we'll also later be joined by our new columnist, who is going to be the advice columnist. Their name is Randy. They're waiting in the wings right now. We're going to have them around at the end of the show. But let's jump into our first news story. Recently, a white buffalo calf was born in Yellowstone National Park. To most of us, most people, that won't mean anything. It's just, oh, it's a different color. How pretty. That's not the case at all. So in the world of Native American religion, and before anyone tries to knock it, you weren't there. I was. Plus, I've also the content creator also was kind of raised in an environment where this stuff was important, and they learned it from their parents. So they've got a bit of a background too. Specifically, let's start off with the basics. Facts. White buffalo calf was born. Animals of unique color in Native American heritage, in Native American beliefs, are signs of great power. Specifically, white and black are referred to loosely as having medicine or energy or power. White and black, or basically white or albino in some cases, or even melanistic in other cases, are viewed as special entities that are like majorly special. And that's pretty much a big deal for any Native American. So for a white buffalo calf to be born, especially because in Native American culture, it is so much rare. It is such a sacred animal, usually on its own ground. It's one where you kind of have to be like, wow, this is a big deal. But to the rest of the world, it's like, oh, it's so cute. But there's a story. And there's usually stories. There's always special stories. And we actually did the research for this, just like we always do. So now I'll take you back. I wasn't in the area at this time. I was over in Germany. But I remember visiting the New World. I wasn't around for this story though. But how old am I? You'll never find out. But according to the Lakota legend, because this is the tribe that it is so important to. I believe so. We were able to identify that it's the Lakota, which I believe is a branch of the Sioux. I could be wrong. If anyone seeing this says no, it's a branch of the Cherokee or a branch of the Cheyenne, it's like, look, the mother of the content creator was the professional at this. We believe it was the Lakota Sioux. We just know that it's Lakota. Anyways, as the legend goes, and this is just a rough retelling. So if it doesn't match up exactly with what you've been told, I apologize. This was how I read it on a website. Long ago, during a time of great famine, great loss, great struggle, there were two warriors that were lost. And they were out hunting. And in the midst of their hunt, they found a white buffalo calf. And one of them, um, because of course it was a time of hunger, had evil in his heart. And I think that was the exact way it was said. But because of how bad the hunger was, he was basically willing to throw away his religion to be able to survive. But the white buffalo calf used its own power to weaken him and to make it so that he couldn't do evil to himself or others. In response, the other warrior got down on their knees and prayed before the white buffalo calf, who turned into a young Native American girl right before his eyes. She said that the next day she would come to her people, to the people, and she would speak to them and try to offer them help. And the next day she came with a bundle, both pipe and ceremonial lessons. She taught the people. She helped the people. She tried to make it so that their lives would be better. And she showed her own medicine. And of course, when she came, she did not originally come as she did not originally show herself as a woman, but instead showed herself as a buffalo and then turned into a woman. Which, I mean, that's pretty cool. Anthropomorphizing is fun. No, the fact is, she came to the people when they were in need. And she left with them a prophecy. She said, one day when things are really bad for the earth, I'm going to come back and I'm going to purify it. Now, for the Lakota and the one who is currently the keeper of the bundle of the white buffalo calf woman, purifying means that she's going to make everything good. I hate to say it, but there's many different ways of purifying. You can use magic. You can use art. You can do so many different things. But you can also destroy the world. My point is, how oral tradition is told is important. But he did bring one thing to the table that's right. He said outright to everyone, we need to do better. And that this was what he felt was part of the sign that they had, was that the world has gone completely nutso bongo. And the fact that she's coming back means just how bad we are. Now, mind you, this is not the first time that a white buffalo has been born. Back in 2019, there was another record of a white buffalo calf. But let's think about this. Prime numbers historically have great value. The previous white buffalo calf was born in 2019. This one was born in 2024. That's a 5-year difference. 5 is a number with high energy. So, did things get worse enough in these 5 years? Look at everything that's going on. Just look. And it doesn't matter where you look. The heat's unbearable. Prices are up everywhere. People work themselves to the bone for a few hours off. It's a nightmare. And I don't use that term loosely. It's a nightmare for everyone. But we live. And ultimately, whatever, when she comes back, hopefully we're able to just say, hey, in fact, it would be great for the content creator to actually meet her, or meet anyone for that matter. You spend way too much time in the house. Please go out. Just go out and do something. I swear, that guy needs help. That girl, that guy. Doesn't matter. But the point is, the white buffalo calf woman coming again will be a huge, huge thing for the world. Whether it will be good or bad will depend partly on us. If we can improve ourselves, it will be all for the better. If we can't, well, then we're in trouble. Which we kind of are anyways. But enough of that story. Moving on, and this one I might get a little bit annoyed about. We come to our second story, which is about about Stonehenge getting painted as a protest for fighting fossil fuels. Now you can get mad at me if you want and say, "Oh, but using fossil fuels is so bad." Yes, it is. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying what you did was wrong. So, let's start with the historical issues with this. So, what is Stonehenge? The fact is, no one's quite sure. Well, most people aren't quite sure. Some people believe that it was just a massive monument created by rolling stones over logs. Some people think it was built by aliens. Some people think that it was built by giants. The list goes on and on. The point is, though, one, it is centered on a ley line. What is a ley line? It's a source of energy, which means it's a special place. It's a holy place. Second, it is a historical monument. And how historical? It literally is old. I don't know that it's older than the pyramids, but it is at least, it could be that old or older. The point is, it was spray painted in mockery of fossil fuels. All right. Enough of that part. Let's enter into the whole discussion of fossil fuels. What is a fossil fuel? Fossil fuel is your basic unleaded petroleum gasoline. It is basically a coal deposit. Why are people upset about it? Because of the fact you burn that stuff, it goes into the atmosphere, it destroys the ozone layer, all that. Okay, yes, it's killing the planet. But even if you didn't want to, you'd still have to burn it. You'd still have to deal with it because your electric cars run off the same stuff. Unless you want to bike everywhere, you're not going to be able to cut stuff down. And some people don't know how to ride the bike, like the content creator. I'm just going to spill all your things because you are making me do this unscripted. Uh, we're half kidding. We're not going to spill everything about them, but we are going to make fun of them because we have the right to right now. So, moving on, moving back into that. There has been a extreme wave of people uh, defacing pictures and uh, famous art pieces and chaining themselves to trees and other things like that. But when you do this, you're doing something that is so unethical. You're so all right, I'm giving my age away here. But I was there when it was built. I'm not telling how it was built, but I was there. I have been to the place. I know the place. I know the people that used to walk around there. They're not alive anymore, but the point is what you did when you defaced Stonehenge, which is what you did. All those paint, all those chemicals, you're going to erode the stone even worse, which is just as bad as fossil fuels. You defaced someone's religion, their religious beliefs. So, Stonehenge is a special place for both practitioners of witchcraft, Wicca, however you wish to describe it, and druids. Because those places are centers of energy. Those places are sacred places. You basically did the equivalent of spray painting on the Vatican, or any mosque or temple or house of worship or even shrine to any deity, the equivalent of stop fossil fuels. Now, let's just look at this for a second, shall we? Think about the thing that you as an activist love most. Whether it be your religion, whether it be the fact you are an activist, or whether the fact you, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. But if someone defaced and defiled something that was that important to you, you would be a little bit angry. And that anger is valid. Your anger about the fossil fuel situation is valid. But do no harm. You just completely harmed someone. And I don't like to get angry with people. I don't like to get frustrated with people. But you are such a butt. You are such a butt for attacking something so special. Now, many of you are probably like, but I was doing something good for the world. No. Standing outside the companies that work with fossil fuels, holding up protest signs, that's good. Doing something, destroying something where people can see it, but it can be rebuilt, that is good. But defacing a religious object, defacing a religious area, and just generally causing chaos, that's no good. That's not going to get answers. The first thing is you must provide answers. And some people have. Some people, so uh, the content creator watches the series, the channel, the Y Files a lot. Shout out if AJ and Hecklefish ever see this, but they probably won't. And the fact is, a lot of them are being silenced. But to be able to do any of this, you have to run a machine that essentially will either burn fossil fuels or water or something or other. You need to have a form of fuel. If you don't have fuel, you won't be able to get the machine working. If you can't get the machine working, you're not going to be able to run anything. So, is fossil fuels a bad idea? Yeah. Is it bad for the environment? Definitely. Is defacing sacred property the right answer? Heck no. It is not. It never will be. And I I don't like to be mean to people, but I mean, if there was a point where they ever found either the cross or the nails of the cross of the of Christianity, you've just done the equivalence of spray painting those blue. I don't know why you chose the color orange, but that's irrelevant. And I think one of the worst parts is you did it the day before a sacred day. The summer solstice is a time that is sacred to a lot of people. So not only did you deface a monument that is so special, you defaced a monument that is so special on an absolutely special day. And you should think about what you did. You should feel some kind of regret for everything you did. But it's not that I'm saying you're wrong. It's not that I'm saying you shouldn't stand up and fight a little bit. I'm saying choose your actions wisely. I will, however, give I will, however, give some props to one group. So this is going to be not really. This is a bit of a continuation to the last story, just to show that I'm not against activism. So, as you know, almost all the characters on this channel, excluding the content creator, are basically anthropomorphs. And you're like, what's an anthropomorph? And it's like, uh, most of you are okay with the term fursona. They aren't, but it's a fairly accurate statement. I'm a crow, Zalcera's an axolotl, Shaki's a shark, Big Bear's, well, a bear. Randy's a possum, so on and so forth. each of the characters are based loosely in an animal and then some kind of humanized form. So we obviously love animals on this channel. So when it came to activists defacing a portrait of King Charles, we actually were completely for it. So in the so June 11th, as it says in the link, uh, someone decided to put a sticker of Wallace from Wallace and Gromit on the portrait of King Charles. King Charles? That was that, yeah. Anyways, let's start off with of the fact that this itself was a hugely funny thing. So, for anyone that's like, wait, what? Let's start off with the thing. A few a few a few months back, King Charles, who was Prince Charles, his mother was wonderful, by the way. Queen Elizabeth, God save her. Hope she's in heaven right now. Um, he's a garbage king. We'll say it that way. But for a long time, they've mostly been figureheads anyway, so it's not a huge issue. But he requested a portrait be done of him. Now, if you listen to some old songs, you learn that the color of England is the color red. And if you look back in history, red coats, obviously. But this portrait is awful. It is all red. It shows his face. It barely shows him at all. Anyone that decided to have this portrait done in this coloration, in this way, deserves to have their head checked. Look, I'm not an art critic. We probably could get an art critic in here. I'm sure that the uh, boss would be able to find one. But this portrait is awful. But now for the backstory. A while back, uh, during discussions with Camilla, Queen Camilla, also known as the horse, I'm kidding. Before we have anyone say anything, it's a joke. At one point, right around the time that there was issues with him loving Camilla over Diana, she was often referred to as looking like a horse. I don't really feel that way. I feel that's rude to the horses. No, I'm kidding. No one's really ugly. No one's ugly. That's just us that's just the superiority complex of a person talking. But during the conversation with Camila, it was mentioned that the king loved Wallace and Gromit. So, some clever sneak out there decided that, okay, animal rights. Let's do this. Wallace and Gromit. I can come up with an idea for that. And they put a sticker over King Charles's face. I'm not able to share it because we didn't grab the link beforehand, but basically, uh, the the it shows the face of Wallace, um, the titular or human character, and a word bubble that says "No cheese grommet. Look at all this cruelty on RSPCA farms." And the fact is, they're right. There is a lot of cruelty in animal farms, raising animals. It's it's not an easy thing for people to do. You don't know exactly what an animal needs, and keeping them cooped up does not help them at all. Um, they need to be able to move about. Uh, RSPCA farms are supposed to have, they're supposed to be closer to free range. They're supposed to be, uh, they're supposed to be beneficial for the animals and help and be ethical. In a study, in a study that was done, a lot of these things did not pass. So, Gromit, who is Wallace, who is known for his love of cheese, um, if you if you're ever like, what really, just look up Wallace and Gromit. Every single movie he talks about it cheese at least once, I'm pretty sure. But he says no cheese. He's look at all the cruelty. He wasn't really about cruelty. I mean, he he used yarn and shaved sheep as necessary, and well, no wait, Gromit was the one that was the knitter in the family, but they were constantly using balls of yarn, which, I mean, yes, animals, we need it, but at the same time, those poor sheep. Have you ever seen a naked sheep? Don't answer that. Um, Point is, they're not doing their jobs, which is kind of what the activists were hitting at. But they did it in a fun way, honestly. The fact that they used a character that the king should have been accepting of, props on that. They were trying to be polite and make a point. Secondly, they saved the world from a god awfully ugly portrait. Not because the king's ugly. I mean, he's an older gentleman with it's he's no spring chicken. Would I be a spring crow? I still got another 300 years left. I'll be fine. But he's that red. The red was just kind of like saying, "We'll wash this world in blood." And that's exactly how it felt looking at the portrait. With the stickers put on top of it, it popped and it was funny. Plus, one, more than likely those stickers were made in such a way that they'll be able to just peel them off. It's not going to be harmful. If it's not harmful, where's the issue? It's not like they were throwing paint on it. It's not like it was going to completely ruin it forever. But then, besides that, it might encourage him to try to do a better portrait. The Queen Elizabeth had some wonderful portraits, and she was she really just stood out as a wonderful queen and a wonderful lady. But he, however, has shown to be, well, I just hope that he takes the statement that they were making to heart, because that's what it should be about. It should be about doing the right thing. So to close that off, we'll say this. Um, the when it came to the subject of the white buffalo, um, they were right. They were the keeper of the ceremonial pipe and other stuff. Eve, Chief Arval looking horse. As he said, we must do more. And um, what do we mean by more? Everything. Everything. All right, we are going to pass this over to our more recent one, or to our newcomer. Am I on? Am I on? What am I supposed to do now? Hello. Mom? Uh, okay. So, I'm Randy. I'm going to be the advice opossum. Advice opossum. Possum. Possum possum. Awesome possum. Uh, what? I don't know. Uh, so, um, what now? All right. So, we have an upcoming event that we're going to talk about right here, right now. What? Uh, so, as many of you know, the content creator, also called Mommy. You're not allowed to call you Mommy, but I call you Mommy. I'm not supposed to, but Shaki said, fine. Okay, so content creator isn't called Mommy. But we're still doing something. So, for anyone that has thought about the content creators' current creatures and is wondering how exactly they come up with their ideas, they just think of an animal and a character and it just pops. So, we'd like to offer you the chance to join in and inspire the content creator with a walk on character. Should you so decide, uh, should you so decide, between our TikTok, our YouTube, and our Twitch, we will be releasing different moments where we say a special word or a special phrase. All you have to do is message us either through whispering or, in the case of TikTok, comment, or YouTube, comment that word or phrase. Make sure to use the same account so that we don't get confused. Points will be added up for each person, and the one with the final words with the people are scary. No, I'm kidding. The one with the most points will end up being allowed the chance to inspire a content creator. This inspiration will come from two things. One, choosing an animal, and two, choosing a color. That will be the basis for that from which the content creator will draw inspiration. This, however, also comes with an extra benefit. Besides being able to help and inspire the content creator, the content creator has also decided that the person will actually you have a sketch done of the character. Are you really able to do that? They say not well, but they said they can still do it. So, one so the time period for this will be approximately 3 months. Or wait, how many? 3 not 3 months. 12 weeks. 12 different episodes, 12 things where it's said. Okay. So, 12 different events. 12 different points in time where points will be able to be given. All you have to do is interact with us. So, think you can do that? I'd be happy if you could do that. I'd be very happy. I'm happy, anyways. Mom, can I get a hug? I know that, but it's easier to call you Mom. Saying content creator is too long. Anyways, I'm going to be in the studio starting next week with the advice column. So, if you'd like to, go ahead, drop us a whisper if you have any problems, and we'll try to help you. I will note that anything I say cannot be held against me in a court of law. That wasn't how I was supposed to put it. How was I supposed to put it? I mean, some of my answers are for entertainment purposes only. However, I will try to advise you as best based on the amount of life experience I have had. So that would technically be 30 years in your life, in your age, in your world. I don't know. I crawled out of a dumpster 2 days ago. Actually, no wait. How many days has it been? I think it's been a week. Yeah, I crawled out of a dumpster a week ago. Don't blame me. Shaki brought me back from the dead. I am not at fault here. I was quite quietly sleeping. You're probably all like, what the hell's going on now? It's like, I don't know. I'm having issues. Nah, anyways, as I said, over the next 12 weeks, we will be releasing a single word or phrase. All you have to do is, in the case of Twitch, whisper us that word. Or in the case of YouTube, comment that word. Or in the case of YouTube, TikTok, 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 TikTok. Or in the case of TikTok, all you have to do is say that word in the chat. Granted, that means that lots of people in TikTok will be able to just say the word as well, but that allows for a little bit more balanced gameplay. So, as we said, there's going to be at least 12 chances. We will say, however, we're not going to promise which area you will see things in. However, and this is a cheat method, I'm not supposed to tell you this. Okay, maybe I am. If you're going to be watching our Twitch stream, you might be able to get all, and I mean all, 12 points. But whoever ends up with the most points, please try to keep it controlled. Simply just they win the chance to inspire us or inspire the content creator. I'm more inspired by the donut that I saw in the parking lot. Actually, can we go back and get the donut? But it only looked like it was a day old. I don't care. I'm hungry. Why is the little red light on? Oh, we're still recording. I'm gonna switch over for a second. I'm gonna let the content creator take over because I'm gonna go eat something. Hi folks, Aaron here, the content creator. Um, please don't call me mommy. That would be really awkward. We don't know each other that well yet. Um, as stated by Randy, next week she will be becoming our advice possum. We have not yet set up a email for her. We'll probably start off with a fake letter for her so that she can just kind of, well, they can just kind of get their feel for the uh, the thing, which was kind of what we were doing today. And as she also said, we will be hosting the event for inspiration for a walk-on character. While we do, while we do note that our, uh, while we do note that the character will be considered walk-on, and inspiration will be coming from you, the viewer, we would like to note that the character themselves will be presented as I see fit, and the creative licensing will remain for myself. However, um, as stated, we will do a drawing of your character. We will not use AI. We will be using freehand, and we will hopefully be adding coloring if there is time permitting. But yeah, as was said, the points will vary from TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. As stated, Twitch will be the easiest way for you to get all 12 points. It will also be the easiest way for me to be able to note if you've gotten the points, because my whispers are open. So you should be able to just easily drop in and say, hey, this, that, the other thing, the other thing, the other thing, until you've got all 12 points. Plus, I like to do the stream while I'm recording, because it shows that I actually care and that I'm actually here for it. It's not just something that was pre-recorded um, before it goes on YouTube. So, as stated, we'll end up doing that starting next week. There will be 12 weeks during which we will provide one word or phrase. Undecided on what these things will be yet, but we will decide as time goes by. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. Not able to sing more than that. But, so we look forward to everyone joining in on this. Again, our TikTok is Same World, Different Game. You can easily view us there. And you can see most of the characters that have come through here on there. Randy's not how we originally intended her, but that is because of the fact it was hard to get a right feel for the character. As for her calling me mommy, that's I don't know. Sometimes these characters take on lives of their own. But irrelevantly, YouTube, TikTok, and the YouTube is actually me. So, YouTube, look up Aaron Drack. You'll see a total of a broadcast of two broadcasts. This broadcast will be uploaded soon as well. And after that, you'll also have one video, which was Shaki raising Randy back from the dead. which was actually a pretty funny video in my opinion, but I'm biased. So, anyways, if you enjoyed the news broadcast or you have a story you want me to look into, just go ahead, drop me a line. And as I mentioned, I do, or as Carol mentioned, I do watch the Y Files. I quite enjoy AJ and Hecklefish. I'm sure they won't see this, but yeah. So if you're ever like, oh, what are they into? Ask me. Ask me, because I'm not always going to be on to share these things, and the characters aren't always going to share them either. So, um, anyways, I hope you all get involved with this. We'll be doing a little. Well, Zal's going to be on in a little bit to do a recording for uh, the TikTok to announce the program, and then we'll also be re-uploading the video from from that we had on YouTube of Shaki raising Randy from the dead, and that'll be up on TikTok soon as well. Right now, the plan is that YouTube will get the first for our longer videos, and then TikTok will be getting them after. I will say, however, we might be starting a mini-sode. Uh, uh, well, I shouldn't say mini-sode. Let's just say I have an idea in mind that may or may not turn into a, there's the baby squirrel. Oh my gosh. That's my ADHD and autism kicking in. Anyways, lots of love. Bye for now, and see you soon. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Hi, folks. So, as some of you may know, we got permabanned for no reason, or at least no reason mentioned, and supposedly multiple violations, which I never received any information about from TikTok. So, as such, we will be removing TikTok from the list of things we will be placing a phrase in for the contest. We will, however, still be putting them out on Twitch and YouTube. I don't know when I will have time to do the recordings for this week as I work Friday evening. However, I am hoping to at least throw an addendum in to an update. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We've got this addendum that's going out on the end of our news broadcast, unscripted news broadcast. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you enjoy the stories. But as stated, TikTok, you're a butt. And yeah, that about sums it up. So just look for us, YouTube and Twitch, and in those places we will be posting the videos. YouTube will be getting the videos, Twitch will be getting the live streams. Unless, despite everything, suddenly it just takes off on YouTube, which would be weird, but okay. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and hope you have a wonderful day.